Mind Detox, a daily thought with me, Joanna Hunter. We are on day number 13, and today's daily thought is we are not our bodies, we are our souls. This is a biggie. This is huge. You know, we as human race often think that we are just this body, and that's us. And the body has restrictions and limitations because it's not going to last forever. So it has an finite number of years, meaning that it maybe will last till 80 years. And that's it, and then you you die. And so therefore it condenses what's happening in your life, and it puts an added kind of layer of pressure, I suppose, on it. So when we see or judge somebody as doing something wrong to us, suddenly because we have this finite number of years, then what they did was, they either stole time from you, or you know, it was something to do with your body. And that's if you look at your life through a body perspective. But if you begin to try and live your life from a soul perspective, so the 80-year existence that you currently call your life, wherever, you might even live, you might be one of these people that lives to 100, but just that finite number of years, there will be an end to this current physical incarnation that you are, the current person that you see in the mirror. And if you look at life from a soul perspective, then this existence that you're currently having is a blink of an eye in the space of an eternal being, a being that lives forever. And that's the soul. The soul lives forever. So therefore, once, if it changes our perspective when we start to look at life from our soul perspective. And I think it's very beneficial to try and look at our lives from a soul perspective. Now, you've got to remember that the earth, or this plane of existence, its purpose is really to sell us the illusion that we are not immortal. That in fact we are mortal, and we have only a set number of years to live our lives in. And that's a big important part of being in this school of learning that we call the earth. So when we start to look at our lives from a soul perspective, it's, in the beginning it can be difficult because what is this illusion that we're being sold is so complete and so well done, and it's meant to be like that. It's serving us, and it's serving a purpose as well. But for instance, I'll tell a little story that I often use to illustrate this. If I was to kick you in the shins, and you look from a body perspective, you're like, oh my God, she is such a cow. She just kicked me in the shins. And that's really bad. And of course, you're experiencing maybe the pain of me kicking you in the shins, and you only have a finite number of years, so that makes me a really terrible person, and I should be avoided for the rest of your life, and things like that, because I randomly just kicked you in the shins. And if you look at that experience from a soul perspective, I go up, I kick you in the shins. The first thing that you will see is, because if you look at from a soul perspective, a soul is always whole and it's always complete. So if I kick you in the shins, um, the soul immediately knows that anything that I have done to you cannot damage you. Okay? So that's the illusion of the body. The body can sustain damage, so it's another illusion, another layer, but the truth of who you are can never sustain damage. You're always whole and you're always complete. So instead of being like caught up in the drama of the kick, you might go, whoa, that really hurts. I can now see stars. Wow, that pain is now blossoming throughout the whole of my leg, and I can almost even feel it in the pit of my stomach. Wow, this is incredible. Wow, you might even go and kick the other one and see what's going to happen. See if that pain will blossom just like it did in the first one. And so that's a bit of a funny example, but the thing is that if you come from it, or anything that is happening to you, and you understand that anything that is happening to you in your life, and you come at it from a soul perspective, you will know that the soul is never damaged, the soul is always whole, and it's always complete. So anything that is happening to you, even if you have the perception that it's damaging your body in some way or has damaged your body in some way. The thing is that the truth of who you are is always whole and is always complete, and that nothing has been really truly done to the truth of you. And I think that that's hugely important to understand that, because when you start to live your life from that soul perspective, things that you would have got really caught up into, dramas, cycles of drama, they no longer have the power and the bearing. They're not so important anymore. And so it becomes easier to let go of things. And the more you let go of them, the more free you become within your own mind. And the more free that you become within your own mind, the more freedom that you attract into your life. It's just as simple as that. So we are not our bodies, we are our souls. And that's today's daily thought. This is the Mind Detox, 14 days of positivity. Give negativity the heave ho. And you can subscribe with me at joannahunter.com. Bye now.